With temperatures in the high 70s here on a Saturday afternoon in beautiful San Luis Obispo, California, we could not be happier to welcome you to Blues Baseball here on the Blues Streaming Network. The Blues come in with an unofficial record of 6-1, their fifth win on the season. Still not technically in the win column, but they led 14-1 heading into the bottom of the ninth. The story, though, their opponents from the north, the Solano Mudcats, who they defeated last night by a score of 14-1. The Blues scored 14 runs for their second consecutive game, giving them a total of 28 in their past two. They come in today hoping to bring out their hot offense yet again against a Mudcats team that is here for their second game of a weekend series here in SLO. Of course, the Blues winning last night, looking to repeat here this afternoon, go to in non-conference play. Starting lineups have been announced. And we're almost set for this national anthem. I'll be right back with you after this rendition. Moments away from first pitch, making his first start of the season for the Blues, his second appearance overall, it's Vaughn Moterer. In his arsenal, 4-seam fastball, 2-seam glove side, change-up, and a slider. Vaughn, out of Cal Berkeley, hometown of San Rafael, California. At Berkeley, usually pitches in relief. Has not made a start for Berkeley. Comes in for about an inning or two of work in relief of the starter, but Coach Miller and pitching coach Dean Trainer seeing what he's got in the starting role here today. Coach Miller always looking for 3 clean innings from his starter. Knows that if he can get that from Vaughn, he'd be more than happy, especially with the way this offense has been flowing. An official batting average of over .330 for the entire team. Run totals skyrocketing against a Mudcats pitching staff that struggled last night. Anthony Galindo working his way into the fourth. And in relief of him, the Blues would continue to tack on more. They'd score 4 in the first. 1 in the second. A couple more in the 7th. And then going off in the 8th for 5 more runs, finishing with a total of 14 and winning yesterday to get to 6-1 by the score of 14-1. Mudcats coming in and trying to play spoiler here. 4th home game for the Blues on this season. They're 2-1. Lost the home opener to the Crawdads, came back and beat them in game 2 at home. Yesterday against the Mudcats, of course, coming away with the win, and here's game 4, and we're just about set for first pitch. E.J. Brown leading things off for the Mudcats. He'll play center field. He'll be followed by Tyler Durant playing right field and Kenny DeSalle to round out the top 3. He's playing left. Banks is at first, Petrushka DHing, Chadwick doing the catching, Foster at shortstop, Levitt at second base, Claxton at third, and here's the first pitch. That one's lifted out to left center, and ranging on is Thomas Trinka for the first out. One pitch, one out for Mater. Couldn't ask for a better start for Vaughn, making his first pitch, second appearance on the season. Here's Tyler Durant. Takes ball one low. Vaughn, 1 1/3 innings pitched coming into today. 2 earned runs, 2 hits, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. That came in Game 3 of this season against the Lincoln Potters. Swung on and missed there by Durant to count even now at 1-1. We mentioned his arsenal. 4-seam and 2-seam fastballs, changeup and a slider. 1-1 onto the right fielder Durant. Swung on and missed for the second straight pitch, and it's 1-2. 1 out here in the top of the first. No score in San Luis Obispo. Takes ball 2. Looked like the changeup. Durant pitches for this team as well. Pinch ran yesterday. No at-bats. Batting average of 167 in his limited plate appearances. That one gets away from Bloom, who's doing the catching today for the Blues, and counts full at 3-2. Durant with a couple RBIs and a couple walks to his credit. And the lefty looks in and awaits the payoff pitch from the righty. That one's popped straight up. Infield range is on, and it looks like it's Costeca's at second. He puts it away for the second out. 2 quick outs for Vaughn Mater. Still no score. And here's Kenny DeSalle. DeSalle, one of 3 Mudcats with a batting average over 300, 6 RBIs to his credit, and a walk as well. So 2 quick outs here in the top of the first. First pitch on to DeSalle is in there for a strike. And Mater is ahead 0-1. First afternoon game here. 4 p.m. for first pitch. Here's the 0-1. That one's low and it's ball 1. Count even now. Fans still making their way out. Got to have your sunscreen on today. Even some umbrellas out in the stands. Here's the 1-1. That one gets away, and it's 2-1.
For us?
DeSalle playing left field today.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say hit the top of it.
2 outs, top of the first, and here's a 2-1 on to Kenny DeSalle. That one's outside, and it's ball 3. This is DeSalle's 23rd at-bat of the season. Takes low, ball 4, and he'll have himself a walk. First base runner of the day for Solano. Here comes Justin Banks. So that's just the second walk of the season for DeSalle. Here comes Justin Banks, who leads the team in that category. He's got 6. And he'll bat with 2 out here in the top of the first. No score. Runner on. This one's lined to Costeca at second. He fields it on a short hop and guns to Grotto, who's playing first today for the 3rd out. And flashing his work with the leather is Costeca to put away the Mudcats in the first. Mater works around the walk to put the Mudcats down, and the Blues bats will be up in the bottom of the first. Still no score here in San Luis Obispo. Here's how the Blues line up today. It's Ryan Fenn glued into that leadoff spot, playing shortstop today. Mason Grotto playing his 4th position defensively this season. We've seen him in left. We've seen him at 3rd before Tate Samuelson joined the team. We've even seen him at 2nd. He plays first base today. Ryan Cermak batting 3rd and playing center. Austin Schell did the catching yesterday. DH is today. Tate Samuelson, of course, at the hot corner, 3rd base, batting 5th. Johnny Bloom does the catching. Nick Costello plays right field. Thomas Trinka moving from right field to left field today, batting 8th. And Connor Costeca, who we just saw a moment ago, batting 9th and playing second base. Starter for the Mudcats is Skylar Yarborough. This is 4th start, 5th appearance overall, coming in with 8 innings pitched on the season, an ERA above 5.6, 10 strikeouts, 5 walks, 10 hits, and 5 earned runs coming into today. Left-hander, going to be set to deal against Ryan Fenn. Fenn, who yesterday reached in his first 3 plate appearances, reached on an error, fielder's choice, and a walk, then finally grounded out to short. No base hits yesterday. A Blues offense that has scored 28 runs in their past 2 games. That started in a trip down to Compton Youth Academy in Southern California, their first official league game that did not officially finish. They scored 14 in that one. Once that one's officially wrapped up, it'll go down as possibly their first shutout of the season. Solano was able to get 1 run late, the final coming out to 14-1. Here's Ryan Fenn on to face Yarborough. Mudcats now 3-5, looking for their 4th win. This, of course, non-conference play from both teams. The Mudcats working their way down from NorCal here to the Central Coast and SLO. Here's the first pitch from Yarborough. Lefty looks in and deals inside, ball 1 to Fenn. Again, Fenn moving over from his traditional spot at second. We've seen him start at second and move over to short defensively late in ball games, but he'll start there today as he takes strike 1, the count even now at 1-1. No outs, bottom of the first, no score here at Sinsheimer. Here's the 1-1. That one's high and outside. Fenn ahead, 2-1. Yesterday, the Blues plated 4 early in the first, giving Austin Teixeira a healthy lead. He'd go 4 more innings, and Austin was terrific yesterday. 2-1. That one outside again, 3-1 now. Fenn, who's led a number of games off with walks, whether it's in the first or whenever he's leading off an inning. The ultimate table setter for this Blues team is that on-base percentage is sky high, and he adds to it here. Taking a leadoff walk on the 4th ball, Blues get the leadoff man on first to start out their offense. Here comes Mason Grotto. So in a quick 4-pitch at bat, Fenn finds himself safe at first with a walk, and here's Mason Grotto, team leading 16 RBIs on the season. Yarborough looks in and deals. That one's low, ball 1. Grotto, again, playing first base today. 4th position we've seen him play defensively. Coach Miller joked, I can put him anywhere. He's almost done it. Here's the 1-0. Taken low for ball 2. Fenn also a threat to steal. Whenever he gets on, Yarborough, or any pitcher, throws over to first to check on him and keep him honest there. Here's the 2-0 to Grotto. That one's high, ball 3, and both Blues hitters working the count to in their favor with 3 balls. And Grotto, the senior Fresno State Bulldog out of Clovis, takes ball 4. Both hitters have walked early for the Blues. They've got men on first and second now. Still no outs in the bottom of the first. And here comes the talented center fielder, Ryan Cermak. Cermak, a junior at Illinois State, hometown of Riverside, Illinois, saw a 2021 campaign that featured a batting average of .284 with 25 extra base hits, 11 via the homer. Bats with no outs in the bottom of the second. Hits this one into left. Past Claxton at third base. That'll score a run. Blues tack on one early. Cermak with an RBI single. RBI single for Cermak as he trades places with Grotto. Grotto moves into second base. Blues have sent 3 men to the plate. They've all reached. Already ahead 1-0 here. No outs in the bottom of the first already. They scored 4 in the first yesterday. Here's Austin Shell. Brought in the first 2 for the Blues yesterday on a 2 RBI double. He's hit the ball hard in 2 straight games. It's showing yesterday. Take strike 1. We had Austin on the post-game show yesterday. Sat down with him. Talked about how surprising it's been to him and the team about how fast they've synced together up as a unit that only met each other about 2 weeks ago. And they've come in to sport an unofficial record of 6-1 on this season. Of course, an asterisk there. But 6 wins in their first 7 games. And the offense staying hot here. No outs, bottom of the first. Blues lead 1-0. Yarborough ahead 0-1 on Shell. Here's the second pitch. It loops in. It breaks high. Count 1-1 now. We've seen Austin DH. We've seen him catch. Doing the DHing today as he bats cleanup in this order. He'll be followed by Tate Samuelson, who's due next. And, well, he hit a 2-run homer in the first yesterday. That breaking pitch falls in there for strike 2. It's 1-2 now as Yarborough works his way ahead. Cermak, who sent the second pitch he saw into left, scored a run. Ryan Fenn, who walked to lead off the inning, coming around to score on that single. Grotto now at second, Cermak at first, and here's the 1-2 on to Shell. Out of the stretch, it's fouled off, and we'll do it all over again at 1-2. So yesterday, Shell drove in 2 with an RBI double. That was followed by Samuelson, who brought in 2 on a 2-run homer. Those were the 4 runs for the Blues back in the first. $28 runs in 2 games coming into today. Now 29, leading 1-0 here. Shell pops one up and into foul territory. Still 1-2, and still no outs in the bottom of the first with 2 men on. One nothing Blues. Still no outs, bottom of the first. Skylar Yarborough trying to work his way out of a jam. Breaking pitch, lined to Banks at first. He'll tap first for the double play. Cermak took a lead and found himself in the middle of first and second base. It was caught on a line by Banks. Terrific play, and he tagged first for 2 outs on the double play. First and second out for the Blues. Here comes Tate Samuelson. Now just Grotto at second. First pitch breaks in there for strike 1. Samuelson, a local kid out of Cal Poly SLO, hometown of San Diego. More than familiar with this area, with the SoCal area. He's picked 2 cities to have on his resume here in the great state of California. 0-1, now 0-2 as Yarborough delivers a fastball. Runner on second is Mason Grotto. He walked. Cermak RBI singled. Shell lined out to first. And here's Samuelson in an 0-2 count. Yarborough looks in and deals. Breaking pitch is fouled straight back. And it'll be our first souvenir of the day for anyone who brought their glove. Count still 0-2. Samuelson still up there. Has batted 5th and played third base in every game he's started for the Blues. Has an extra base hit in every one of his games he's played this season except for 1. Getting his first homer of the season yesterday. Takes a breaking pitch low. It's 1-2. One nothing Blues. Grotto at second. Still 2 outs in the bottom of the first. And Skylar Yarborough, he's only surrendering 1 here in the first. It'll be a win for the Mudcats. Delivers the 1-2. Breaking pitch is popped straight up. And ranging back is Foster. Now it'll be DeSalle in shallow left. to put it away. So indeed, that is the situation. Samuelson pops out to left, but not before the Blues tack on one. RBI single by Ryan Cermak has the Blues ahead 1-0. Mudcats with a chance to respond in the top of the second. But Skylar Yarborough, the double play on a line out to first by Austin Schell, proving to be the key first and second outs. That got Cermak out. It left Grotto stranded at second. Blues had 2 men in scoring position. One came around. They only sent 5 men to the plate. Still get the lead here early and give a cushion to Vaughn Mater, who will be set to start his second inning of work in the top of the second. Gianni Bloom doing the catching today. Austin Schell doing the DHing. Bloom works with all these guys in the bullpen. So does Schell. Talks about how they synced up with this pitching staff rather quickly. Talked to Coach Miller about what his pitching staff's been able to do to this season up until this point. He said, we haven't necessarily been blowing guys away. Not a lot of our guys have fastballs that tally above 90, 91. Got a couple guys that come out of the pen that'll be asked to close games this season or at least be put in situations of relief that can throw above that. But he's like, we haven't been blowing guys away. We give our infield a lot of work. And only recently our infield has been a little sloppier than I'd like to see. That's what Coach Miller said, but back on track so far, and the number of errors still low on the season. Mater deals strike one to Jordan Petrushka. He's the DH today, batting from the right side of the plate. Righty on righty here to start the second. It's 1-0 Blues. That one's fouled off to the right side. It's now 0-2. Said he's thrilled with what he's seen from every aspect of his team, pitching, hitting, and fielding. 0-2. Swung on and missed. Petrushka goes down on 3 pitches, and Mater has his first strikeout of the day. Vaughn's gotten 4 outs on a fly out, a pop out, ground out, and a strikeout. The one walk sandwiched in between there is Kenny DeSalle. Only base runners so far for the Mudcats. And here's Adam Chadwick, catcher today. Mudcats going with their teal jerseys with red helmets and numbering. Yesterday going with white and gray camo and red numbering. Mater dealing ball 1. Top of the second, 1-0 Blues. Only 1 out. Second pitch falls in there for strike 1. We're even now in the count. Here's the 1-1. Chadwick swings and misses half-heartedly. Change up there. Comes in with a batting average of just 200 in his limited plate appearances. This only his 6th on the season. Hasn't played since back on the 15th in a loss, 5-2, the score against the Lincoln Potters. Had no hits in that one. Previous game back on June 9th had 1 against the Crawdads. This one's fouled straight back towards the press box, but it'll land into the grassy part of our stands here at Sinsheimer. 1-2, 1 out, top of the second, 1-0 Blues, the score. Bit high, ball 2. Chadwick's worked the count back to 2-2. That one drops low for ball 3. Chadwick has taken 1 walk on this season. He's been hit by a pitch once. He has struck out 3 times already. Mater on the doorstep getting that second out or getting another man on via the walk. Here's the payoff pitch. That one swung on and grounded foul to the left side. Count remains the same. One out top of the second. That one's popped up into left. Ranging back is Trinka. Makes the catch for the second out. Up steps Tasso Foster. Shortstop, led off the game yesterday, batting from the right side. Finds himself in the 7-hole today. Malter with 2 quick outs, a strikeout and a fly out to left. 1 out away from completing his second inning of work cleanly. Swung on and missed there on the off-speed stuff by Foster. He's ahead 0-1 quickly. Quickly ahead 0-2. Fastball outside part of the plate called for strike 2. Vaughn, who was originally born in London, England. Here's the 0-2. That one is low, ball 1. Working quickly. Has the count at 1-2. 2 outs top of the second. But he was originally born in London. Uncle played football at Dartmouth. And his cousin played football at Hofstra. Malter, a pitcher at Berkeley. That one is fouled straight off. Count remains the same at 1-2.
I just when you talked to Mark about that, I said, over this, you were good at cement.
1-0 Blues, 2 outs top of the second. Here's the 1-2 from Malter. That one breaks outside, and it's back to even at 2-2. Tasso, who was behind 0-2 early in the count, has worked it back to even. And in this righty-on-righty battle, will go on. Here's the 2-2 from Malter. That one's hit softly on a hop to Samuelson. He'll gun to first to retire the side for the third out. Malter puts them down 1-2-3 in the second to complete his second inning of work cleanly. Score remains 1-0 Blues. Skylar Yarborough will be back out for the Mudcats to pitch his second inning of work. Only gave up the 1 run after the Blues went walk, RBI single, and then a key double play on a line out by Austin Shell. Got him 2 huge outs. A fly out by Samuelson would limit the damage to just 1 run, and that's where we stand as we'll head to the bottom of the second. Folks, while we have a moment, just want to thank some of our generous sponsors. Here at Injectors Direct, one of our sponsors for When the Blues Score, You Score. Go and check out our friends at Injectors Direct. The best parts, best prices, best service, period. Injectors Direct. It'll be Gianni Bloom to lead off the inning for the Blues, doing the catching today. And we've seen Bloom catch, Esperanza catch, and Shell catch. Those 3 men rotating between catching and DHing. We'll see some roles flipped here. AJ Esperanza was the DH yesterday. Shell the DH today. Did the catching yesterday, and here's Bloom, who's been behind the plate through 2 clean innings of work as he's catching Vaughn Malter. Take strike 1 from Yarborough. We're away here in the bottom of the second. 1-0 Blues here early and slow. Oh, 1. Outside part of the plate. 0-2. Lefty dealing to the left side of the plate. We'll see where he paints it on the 0-2. Breaking pitch. Got Bloom to swing through that one, and Gianni gets sat down on 3 pitches. One quick out to lead off the second, and here comes Nick Costello, manning right field today. He bats from the left side of the plate. Costello, a sophomore at the University of California, San Diego. Lefty on lefty, that first pitch is bounced to the plate for ball 1. Fouled straight back, count even now 1-1. The 2 walks surrendered by Yarborough back in the first were his 6th and 7th on the season. The run given up, his 6th earned run on the season. And his 11th hit overall. Here's the 1-1. That one breaks outside and low as Costello works his way ahead in the count, 2-1. Bloom, who struck out on 3 pitches, swinging to lead off the inning, is followed by Costello, and Thomas Trinka's due up next. Yarborough shakes off the first pitch. Now agrees on one. That one comes to the plate. It's way inside, and now it's 3-1. Yarborough working through the signs with Chadwick here. And the third time we've seen a blue getting a 3-ball count. Here's the 3-1. That one's hit on a line, but foul up the right side. It's now full at 3-2.
What's up? Less to do today.
Payoff pitch. High, ball 4. And Nick Costello will take first on a walk. Third walk surrendered today by Yarborough. Now he's given up 8 on the season, and here comes Thomas Trinka. After a strikeout of Bloom, Costello reaches on a walk, and here's Thomas Trinka. Blues lead 1-0 here early. We're in the bottom of the second with 1 out here in SLO. Fans out, temperatures in the high 70s for some Saturday afternoon baseball. Swung on and missed by Trinka. Yarborough gets ahead 0-1. Followed by Connor Kosteka, playing second base today. First time we've seen Ryan Fenn and Connor Kosteka both be in the starting lineup and manning the heart of this infield. Yarborough throws over to first to check on Costello as Trinka waits to see his second pitch of the at-bat. Thomas Trinka, a teammate of Craig Miles at George Mason, both out of Virginia. Costello takes a lead at first. Yarborough checks on him a couple times. His head rotating over there. Now deals a breaking pitch in there for strike 2. Trinka moving over from right to left. Costello, who's on first, is playing right today. And Cermak, of course, glued into that center field position. Throws over to check on Costello. Trinka out of Centerville High School in Virginia. Hit .423 for a career in high school. Here's the 0-2. That one's popped up to right. Ranging back to make the play is Tyler Durant. His catch has the Blues with 2 outs now in the bottom of the second. Here's Connor Kosteka, playing second and batting in the 9-hole today. Kosteka, a senior at Biola. Bats left-handed, throws right-handed, hometown of Temecula. This is a guy who hit .268 with 103 hits for a career, hit .416 his senior year in high school, leading their team. This one's hit into center. It'll drop for a base hit, and Kosteka is on with a single. Second hit for the Blues. Second time they've had men on first and second with just 2 out here in the bottom of the second. Already leading this one 1-0. Costeca also played basketball and soccer in high school. His father, Chris, played baseball at Pepperdine. So he singles to get himself safe at first, and we're back to the top of the order now, and Ryan Fenn, who walked to lead off the game, takes a breaking pitch in there for strike one. So Yarborough getting a strikeout, walk, and a flyout, and now a single. Blues get 2 men on. The runner in scoring position is Nick Costello. That breaking pitch is low and has to be dug up by Chadwick. Count even now. One. Check swing, and it's fouled back. Count now 1-2 as Yarborough works his way ahead. Again, Schuyler 1 out away from limiting the damage. Has only surrendered the 1 run. Has walked 3 Blues today. And a base hit could mean trouble. And a second run for the Blues, possibly more. Here's the 1-2. Taking off for third, swung on and missed. That'll end the inning.
Strikeout.
Fenn swings through the third strike of the at-bat. It was 1-2, and the off-speed stuff got him down to end the inning. Yarborough has still only surrendered the 1 run early. Fenn now 1 for 2, or 0 for 1 officially. Walk and a strikeout. Blues strand 2. One nothing still our score, and Vaughn Mater out there to start his 3rd inning of work. Good to see Vaughn get some extended innings here. Again, Coach Miller telling me this is a guy who we want to see in a starting role, see what we've got. Traditionally only pitches maybe an inning, maybe gets 5 outs in an appearance, but bullpen guy at Berkeley getting a chance to start here, and of course working closely with pitching coach Dean Trainer on his stuff. We'll have to face Mason Levitt to lead off the top of the 3rd here in San Luis Obispo. No hits so far for the Mudcats, just the 1 man reaching in the form of Kenny DeSell on a walk back in the 1st. Levitt, the 2nd baseman, will lead off the 3rd here. That's a swinging bunt to 3rd. Samuelson fields, but does not throw to 1st. So Levitt reaches on an infield single. To lead off the top of the 3rd. Mudcats get the leadoff man on with no outs for the first time today. We're in the top of the 3rd. Our score 1-0 Blues. For Levitt, 6th hit on the year. Batting .238 coming into today. 1 for 1 on the day so far. Here's Justin Claxton to hit with 1 man on and no outs in the top of the 3rd. Montero will take time and run through some signs with Gianni Bloom. Here's the first pitch from Claxton. Showing bunt, throwing over to 1st. Grotto was not positioned. He was positioned closer to home as Claxton showed bunt. Take strike 1. It's 0-1 on him. No outs, top of the 3rd. And Levitt still on 1st as he singled to lead off the inning. Here's the 0-1. Bunt shown. That one's popped up. Samuelson will field it and gun over to 1st. Not in time. So the bunt attempt by Claxton, all for naught. Instead, he's the first out of the 3rd. Levitt still safe at 1st, and we'll work our way back to the top of the order. And E.J. Brown, who flew out to left in his first plate appearance. Claxton unable to get the bunt down. Instead popped it up, and that's costly. 1 out now as Monterre delivers strike 1 to Brown. Brown went 1 for 4 yesterday. 2 stolen bases. Say he went around, and now it's 0-2 on the check swing. 1 out, top of the third. 1-0 Blues. Oh, 2. That one low and away, ball 1. Brown, who singled yesterday. He'd then steal second. A man would strike out. Then he'd steal third. A man would strike out. And eventually not score from third. Check swing. We'll see if he went around, and they'll say he did. So Brown strikes out for the second out in the third. And here comes Tyler Durant, who popped out to second in his first at-bat. Runner at first is Mason Levitt. He singled to lead off the inning. 2 quick outs. Have Monterre just an out away from getting out of this inning. 2 2/3 so far for Vaughn. Only the 1 hit. Only 2 base runners allowed. First pitch. Check swing. It's a called strike 1. Mudcats trying to scratch early. Blues did so in the bottom of the first. Monterre gets Durant to swing and miss through that one, and it's 0-2. Now just a strike away from ending this half of the inning. Mudcats come in 3-5. Again, this is the second of a 3-game weekend series. Here's the 0-2. That one is low. Bloom has to field it. Guns over to second. Actually doesn't. Holds onto it. Does not throw to second, and Levitt will advance. So Levitt steals second. Now is in scoring position for Tyler Durant, who's behind 1-2 in the count. First time Monterre has faced and has had an at-bat with a runner in scoring position. Durant awaits the 1-2. That one's high and outside. Count even now at 2-2. Mudcats now with 16 stolen bases after the 2 from Brown yesterday and the 1 from Levitt here. That one's way inside. Count will be full at 3-2. So when they've been able to reach, they've also been able to find their way into scoring position, especially when they reach early in an inning. Pitching staff with an ERA over 6 coming into today. Full count. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Durant goes down. And that ends the inning. So after a leadoff single by Mason Levitt gets things started, Claxton pops out on a bunt attempt to third, and back-to-back strikeout swinging by Brown and Durant get Monterre through his 3rd inning cleanly. Holding the Mudcats scoreless, Blues will try to tack on to the 1-0 lead in the bottom of the 3rd. While we have a moment, I want to thank our loyal sponsor, Via Automotive. They've been with the Blues since 1946, since the team was created. This, of course, the 75th anniversary of Blues baseball. Via Automotive, where their slogan is, our family taking care of your family. If you're in need of any auto repairs in the Central Coast or SoCal area, check out our friends at Via Automotive. Skylar Yarborough is going to be back out there for his 3rd inning of work. Has surrendered 3 walks, only the 1 run on 2 hits. 2 strikeouts swinging to his credit as well. That brings his strikeout total to 12 on the season. So the lefty's going to face Mason Grotto, who he walked back in the first. So Fenn, Grotto, and Cermak all reached in their first plate appearances. Grotto, this now his second at-bat to lead off the bottom of the third with his team leading 1-0. Got that one early on a Ryan Cermak RBI single. But here's Grotto to face Yarborough to lead off the third. Happy to have you with us on the Blue Streaming Network. That one's fouled off. It's 0-1. That one's high and inside. Count even now. Grotto, a 3-time letter winner in high school. Insane batting averages all these guys had in high school. Over 400. Takes a breaking ball outside now, 2-1. Grotto leading the team in RBIs. Bats with no men on here, leading off the inning. Cermak to follow him. Here's the 2-1 from Yarborough. That one's hit on a line and past Levitt into right center. Grotto has reached in both plate appearances. Now a walk and a single. Here comes Ryan Cermak. Threw a mini party back in the first, only bringing in 1 run. More of a kickback it really was. But that got the team up, the Blues that is, 1-0. So Grotto singles to lead off the third. And here's Cermak. Fastball in there, strike 1. Grotto only the 1 stolen base on the season. Yarborough checking there. Again, a number of times. Head rotates from first base to the plate. He deals strike 2, a breaking pitch that Cermak swung through. It's 0-2. Shell is due up. Still no outs in the bottom of the third. Yarborough checks and deals the 0-2. Cermak lifts this one out to right. Durant is under it and makes the catch. No, he doesn't. Gets through his glove. And Grotto is safe into second. Cermak is safe on first after the error. So Cermak reaches on an E9. And now the Blues have men on first and second. Grotto and Cermak have both reached in both plate appearances. Here's Austin Shell, who lined out to first. It ended up being a double play. Banks was positioned perfectly at first to field it and tag first for the second out. That first pitch is a breaking pitch inside, and it's 1-0. Shell, who drove in 3 yesterday on a 2 RBI double in the first, drove in 1 more in the second. Blues lead early, trying to add to the 1-run lead now. Yarborough rotates between second and home. Deals outside ball 2. Shell DHing today. Yarborough the 2-0. That one's popped up on center. Brown ranges on. That one is fielded cleanly for the first out. So Shell has now lined out on a double play to third and popped out to center. You hear the Zach Brown band. You hear Chicken Fried. That means Tate Samuelson's up to the plate. He flew out to left in his first at-bat. That's now with ducks on the pond, men on first and second. Still just 1 out in the bottom of the third. Breaking pitch for ball 1. Skyler has faced traffic now in all 3 innings of work here, but only the 1 run surrendered early. Since then, he's been able to get out of the jams, I should say, plural. Now 2-0 as he deals to Samuelson. It's been impressive. This is a Blues offense, again, now 29 runs in 2 games and 2 1/3 innings in this one. but behind 2-0 on Samuelson, who homered early yesterday of the 2-run variety. Swung on and missed. He was going for another one there, and it's 2-1. Tate out of San Diego, teammates at Cal Poly with Caden Sheedy. This Tate's second season with the Blues. Tremendous third baseman. Yarborough checks second. Now deals to the plate. This one's lifted up. Going out to left. Ranging back is DeSalle at the track and at the wall. Man, that thing carried. Didn't look like a threat to leave off the bat. Worked its way all the way to the track. And it's a second straight fly out for a Blues hitter as Samuelson has flown out to left in both his at-bats. Here's Gianni Bloom, who struck out swinging to lead off the second. Situation remains the same with men on first and second. Blues leading 1-0 with 2 outs in the bottom of the third. Bloom takes an off-speed pitch in there for strike one. Gianni, who only saw 3 pitches in the strikeout swinging, hasn't seen a ball from Skyler yet in an at-bat. Hasn't taken a ball, I should say. Checking second, now coming to the plate. That one's lifted out to left. And DeSalle is positioned perfectly to field it for the third out. So after Grotto singled and Cermak reached on an error, Shell flies out, Samuelson flies out, and Gianni flies out. 3 straight outs. Strand 2 more on for the Blues. Men left on first and second, and Skyler Yarborough is through 3, only surrendering the 1 run. Our score remains the same with the Blues up 1-0. New pitcher out there for the Blues. We'll introduce you to him in just a moment after this short break. Thanks for hanging out on the Blues Streaming Network.
Jim, 16 is pitching.
Set to start the top of the 4th, and we're through 3 relatively quickly. Just 1-0 Blues. New pitcher out there for San Luis Obispo is TJ Clarkson, dealing from the left side of the plate. If you were wondering why TJ was not in the starting batting order, it's the first time he has not hit 4th. It's the first time he hasn't hit cleanup and manned first base. It's because he's pitching in relief today with a 1-0 lead here early. Had to go during the break and see his pitching numbers. Of course, a redshirt sophomore from the University of Utah, hometown of Gilbert, Arizona. A lot closer to here than Utah. A 2021 pitching campaign saw TJ sport an ERA of 2.08. 0 for 2 with 2 losses, of course. 3 appearances, started 3 games, 8 2/3 innings pitched, 11 hits, 3 runs given up, 2 base on balls, and 4 strikeouts. Only 1 extra base hit allowed as DeSalle fouls the first pitch back and is behind 0-1. So TJ certainly capable, giving the Blues another left-handed pitcher out of that bullpen. They only have 4 listed on the roster, but TJ coming in relief today We see Mater go through 3, not giving up a run on 2 hits. And now TJ trying to protect a 1-0 lead. He's ahead quickly on DeSalle 0-2. TJ officially a junior. Teammates of Zach McCleve and Matt Sox on the San Luis Obispo Blues. So 3 guys working their way here from Utah and have contributed in a huge way for the Blues. 0-2, low ball 1. No outs, top of the 4th here in San Luis Obispo. DeSalle, who walked in his first plate appearance, he was the first base runner for the Mudcats on the day. First pitch at 4:05, first afternoon start here at Sinsheimer. That one's hit straight back to Clarkson. He can field that one cleanly to the man playing his position. Fields on DeGrotto for the ground out, and it's a quick out for TJ out of the pen. Here's Banks, who grounded out to second in his first AB. Clarkson getting a quick first out. The lefty looks in. So officially, all our guys from Utah can pitch. Of course, Sox and McCleve listed as only pitchers. Sox a starter, McCleve a reliever. That one gets away from Clarkson. He's behind 1-0. But TJ, who last I checked was leading this team in batting average and had hit cleanup and played first base in every game, now comes on to pitch in a 1-0 game here. 8th game of the season for the Blues, unofficially 6-1, looking for 7 wins in 8 games. He delivers strike 1 to get the count back to even on Banks. Lefty on lefty. That one's low, ball 2. TJ 6'4", 220, a presence in the batter's box and on the mound. First pitching appearance for him here this summer. Here's the 2-1. That one is low, ball 3. Wish I got the chance to ask Coach what pitch types TJ has, what he's throwing out there. Lefty looks in and deals. Fastball got him swinging, and it's full now at 3-2. Here's the payoff pitch from TJ. Low, ball 4. Banks will have a walk. Second walk of the day given up by Blues pitching. Third base runner allowed. Just 1 out here in the top of the 4th. Mudcats looking to capitalize here. They've gotten men on early, either with no outs or 1 out, in back-to-back innings. And here comes Jordan Petrushka, who struck out swinging in his first at-bat back in the 2nd. Lefty on righty as Clarkson checks first and now comes to the plate, delivers a fastball low, 1-0. One out, top of the 4th. 1-0 Blues. That pitch is in there for a strike at 1-1. Only 1 hit on the day for the Mudcats. It was a Mason Levitt single that led off the 3rd. That one's low again, ball 2 now. Petrushka is ahead in the count. He'll be followed by Adam Chadwick if he is to reach. 2-1. Nips the outside part of the plate. 2-2. Looks like all fastballs for TJ in this at-bat. Has the count even at 2-2. 1 man on, 1 out. 1-0 Blues in the top of the 4th. That one low, ball 3. Coming up on an hour into this one. We're in the top of the 4th. Second straight payoff pitch to a man at the plate from Clarkson. That one dips low as well, and he's walked his second straight man. Men on first and second now for the Mudcats. Here does come Adam Chadwick doing the catching today. Solano has their opportunity here, but here comes pitching coach Dean Trainer, and there will be a meeting of the minds on the mound to discuss a strategy here with TJ Clarkson, who, after getting a quick out, a ground out to DeSalle, he has walked Justin Banks and walked Jordan Petrushka. Chadwick will be at the plate to hit with men on first and second, trying to get the Mudcats to scratch here in San Luis Obispo. I'll be right back with you after a short break on the Blue Streaming Network. Clarkson looks in, and Adam Chadwick awaits his first pitch from the lefty. Quick conference, and now Clarkson deals ball one outside. Chadwick flew out to left in his first at-bat. But runners on first and second for the Mudcats. And Clarkson deals that one low, ball two. Still just one out. Best chance the Mudcats have had to scratch early. Levitt did advance to second on a ground out by Claxton. But with just one out here and two men on, the Mudcats looking to scratch. Trailing 1-0 here early. Clarkson looks in and delivers the 2-0. That one hits the outside corner, and it's 2-1. So TJ going with primarily fastballs. These Mudcats hitters control the only issue. After the ground out, he's walked two straight men. I went in there for a strike, and he's worked it back to even at 2-2. Chadwick not necessarily agreeing with the call. Nonetheless, it's even now. He's 0 for 1 on the day, and what's a big at-bat here early for Solano. Banks at second, Petrushka at first. Here's the 2-2. That one's away, and for the third straight man, he'll have to deliver a full count pitch. In the two previous at-bats, those led to ball fours. Clarkson a ball away from loading the bases. Chadwick a base hit away from tying this game. And Clarkson also a ground out away from getting out of this inning. Huge pitch here of the payoff variety. That one's lined into right. It'll drop. So Chadwick singles, and he'll reach. 3 straight Mudcats have reached. No one comes around to score. Bases are loaded for Tissot Foster. Foster, who grounded out to third, but the Mudcats have a rally cooking here early. After 2 walks and a single, the bases are loaded, and TJ Clarkson is facing Foster in his second at-bat. He's 0 for 1 on the day. Still just one out in the top of the fourth, and it's still 1-0 Blues. Clarkson delivers low, ball 1. Mudcats now with 2 hits. The number to look for, though, 3 walks for the Blues surrendered, matching the number that they have walked already. Here's the 1-0, swung on and missed. Count even now. Just looking at the Blues, they too have walked 3 times. Only they have 3 base hits to show for it. That first one by Cermak is the reason they lead 1-0. Since then, the Mudcats have been able to weather a weak storm, but there's still been traffic for the Blues.
Just one out.
2-1. Foster fouls one off to get it even at 2-2. That one's lined into right, but foul. That was hit on a line and would have scored 2, giving the Mudcats the lead. Tasso Foster in a 2-2 count. 0-for-1, grounded out to third. Softly to Tate Samuelson back in the second. A chance to do damage here with the bases loaded. And only one out. Clarkson deals the 2-2. That one's high and outside for the fourth straight at bat. He's in a full count to the man at the plate. The 3 previous resulting in 2 walks and a single. Pitch count high for TJ. And Foster awaiting another payoff pitch. That one is lined into right, and it will be caught by Costello trying to score, and he will. Tagging up is Banks. Comes around to score on the sacrifice fly as he tagged up, and the play at the plate was close. Costello gunned it in there from right, but in the process, we're tied at 1. And it's an RBI for Tasso Foster. Sacrifice fly and an RBI has us tied at 1. 2 outs in the top of the 4th. Clarkson still dealing with the bases loaded. That situation hasn't changed. Or excuse me, now they're runners on first and second. My mistake. Runners on first and second. Justin Banks, who walked in the second at-bat of the inning, came around to score. Tagged up and had close play at the plate. Called safe. It's 1-1. 1-2-1. Here's the 1-0 from Clarkson. He'll actually step off. It's Petrushka at second, Chadwick at first, and Foster, who drove in the run, flew out to right. That was the second out of the top of the 4th. Here's Mason Levitt. He singled in his last at-bat. First hit of the day for the Mudcats. Takes a strike in there, and we're even now. So Levitt 1-for-1. That one in there, strike 2. Clarkson finally ahead on a man at the plate. Two outs, top of the 4th, 2 men on for the Mudcats. They've tied it at 1-1. Taking low, ball 2. Counts even now for Levitt. Two. That one's hit into foul territory in right. Ranging on to make the play was Grotto, but it drifts foul and into the Blues bullpen. Count remains the same, situation the same with 2 outs. The Mudcats have tied it at 1 and have Petrushka at second and Chadwick at first. Petrushka walked and Chadwick singled. Here's Levitt, who's already singled himself here early. Chance to give the Mudcats the lead, possibly with a base hit. Clarkson comes to the plate and gets him to swing and miss through strike 3. Levitt now 1 for 2 on the day with a single and a strikeout. That strikeout by Clarkson ends what was a lengthy inning out of the bullpen for TJ. He gave up 1 run that did indeed tie this game. We are tied at 1 here in San Luis Obispo, and the Blues bats will have their chance to respond in the bottom of the 4th. Mudcats scratch earlier than they did yesterday. It's a good one through 4. We're knotted at 1. We're going to take a moment, thank another one of our generous sponsors, Club Cannon, responsible for the CO2 cannons here at Sinsheimer. If you're looking for any premium special effects equipment, check out our friends at Club Cannon. Skylar Yarborough will be on to start his 4th inning of work after the day's done for Vaughn Mauter. This is how his line went. He went 3 full innings, only gave up the 1 hit, only gave up 1 walk on 3 strikeouts, threw 11 more strikes than balls. After TJ's 1 innings pitched, he gave up the 1 run that tied this game, only gave up the 1 hit. The problem was control. 2 walks allowed as he threw only 1 more strike than he did balls and got the strikeout to end the inning. So that's it for the Blues pitching on the day through 4. Thank you to Max Lober, our statistician. And here's Nick Costello to lead off the bottom of the 4th for the Blues in a brand new ball game. We're tied at 1-1 here on a Saturday afternoon in San Luis Obispo at Sinsheimer Park. Yarborough deals high and inside. Costello had to get out of the way, but it's called strike 1. He's ahead quickly now. Costello, who walked in his first at-bat, made the catch out and right and gunned home to try and get Banks out at home, who was tagging. This one gets away from Chadwick behind the plate, and it's 1-1. Costello made a throw on a line. Play at the plate was close. Banks tagged up and scored, and that's why we're tied at 1. Costello takes a breaking pitch. That one loops outside, then in the zone for strike 2. No outs, bottom of the 4th, 1-1 our score. That one is taken for a ball, count even at 2-2. Swung on and missed by Costello. He's set down on 5 pitches and strikes out to start the 4th. Here's Thomas Trinka, moving from right field to left today. Flew out to right field in his first AB, back in the 2nd. 0 for 1 on the day, and a chance to bat with the bases empty and 1 out, in the bottom of the 4th. 1-1 our score. Takes ball 1. Lines that one on a hop to short. It's fielded cleanly by Foster. He guns on to first, and what a play it was. 6-3 ground out for Trinka. That's the 2nd out of the bottom of the 4th. Here's Connor Costeca. He singled back in the 2nd. He'll bat with the bases empty and 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. Tied at 1. Yarborough, breaking pitch. Kosteka lays down a bunt. Can he beat it out? Yarborough throws into first, not in time. Kosteka's 2 for 2. Second hit of the day. Laid the bunt down. He finds himself safe at first. He'll be on with 2 outs and Ryan Fenn at the plate, who has walked and struck out. First pitch to Fenn is lined to center. Brown will have to play it on a hop, but it's back-to-back hits for the Blues. And the heart of this infield are now safe at first and second. Still 2 outs in the bottom of the fourth, but here comes Mason RBI Grotto. He's reached on both his plate appearances. He has walked and singled, and a chance to add to that team leading total. It's Fenn at first. He singled. Kosteka, who laid down a bunt, safe at first. Off-speed pitch taken for ball 1. Grotto playing first base today for the first time this season. 4th defensive position he's played. Second straight off-speed in there for a strike. It looped over the plate. Grotto did play 2 seasons at Cuesta College under Bob Miller. Hits that one. Broken bat to Foster at short. He guns onto first. Way high. It gets away. This will score a run. Blues take the lead at 2-1. Grotto's safe at first. Kosteka comes around to score, and Fenn is safe at third. An error by Foster allows Grotto to reach and a run to score on an E6. Here's Cermak. Runners at the corners. Grotto takes off for second. Off-speed pitch is taken for ball 1, and Grotto will be safe into second with his second stolen base on the season. Cermak has reached twice. He drove in the first run of the day for the Blues. They now lead 2-0. He also reached on an error. That was an E9 back in the third. Second error of the day. Cermak lines this one. Left center. Going back at the track and at the wall. It's down. He's into second. He'll try for third. Throw in from the infield is cut off. Cermak brings in another one on an RBI triple. Brings in 2. It's now 4-1. Skylar Yarborough, they've gotten to him here after Costello struck out and Trinka grounded out. The Blues have gone single, reach on an error, and a 2 RBI triple by Ryan Cermak. He showed off the power, he showed off the speed, and he showed off the reason he's a 5-tool threat playing center field here today. Brings in 2 more. Blues lead 4-1. Conference on the mound with Skylar Yarborough. There's still 2 outs in the bottom of the fourth. Due up is Austin Schell. Cermak, who drove in 1 last night. And there's strike 1. Drove in 1 yesterday. Drove in 2 the other day. Has driven in 3 already today. That adds to his RBI total to give him now 11 on the season. That one is hit out to right by Schell. Under it is Durant. He'll field it for the third out, but not before the Blues plate 3. An E6 allows a run to score. That gave the Blues the lead at 2-1. And then Cermak had himself a 2 RBI triple. Found himself safe at third. And ends on a Schell fly out to right. That's it for us here through 4 in San Luis Obispo. Our score 4-1. Yarborough able to get the third out, but not before the Blues played 3 more. While we have a moment and we enter into the top of the 5th, just want to thank another one of our generous sponsors, High Street Deli here in San Luis Obispo. If you're looking for the best Dutch crunch bread you've ever had, head over to our friends at High Street Deli. They'll take care of you. How about this dizzy bat race? This thing's close. Blues lead 4-1. We're going to take a short break here on the Blue Streaming Network. I'll be back with you for the top of the 5th. Thanks for hanging out. Back with you for the top of the 5th. Blues played 3 back in the bottom of the 4th to take the lead now at 4-1. New pitcher out there for the Blues. Let's introduce you to him. It's the right-hander, number 8, Sam Page.
Oh, yeah.
He looks in and deals to Justin Claxton. That breaking ball is in there for strike 1. Claxton has popped out. He tried to bunt back in the 3rd. He popped out to 3rd. 0-for-1 on the day. Claxton, the third baseman, has taken strike 1 and leads off the top of the 5th with his team trailing by 3.
Yeah.
That one gets away, and it's even at 1-1.
Yeah.
Ball 2. Strike 2 called. My mistake. The count now 1-2. On to Claxton. Page looks in and deals. Compact delivery. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Sets Claxton down on 5 pitches. And Claxton strikes out to lead off the top of the 5th. 1 out now. Blues lead 4-1. Delivers strike 1 as we work our way back to the top of the lineup, and E.J. Brown. Brown has flown out to left and struck out swinging. Page ahead 0-1. Comes to the plate and delivers low for ball one. This is the fourth appearance for Sam Page this season. Delivers strike two. He's been reliable out of the pen so far. Has not given up a run. Has not given up a hit. Has only walked two men and has struck out 5, now 6 on the season in his 3 2/3 innings pitched. Now 4 full innings pitched. Swung on and missed there, and he'll set him down on K's again. So Brown strikes out for the second straight at-bat. That's now 7 strikeouts on the season for Sam Page. Sam out of the University of Nevada, Reno, a sophomore there. Hometown of Phoenix, Arizona. 6'1" right-hander. Appeared in the first game of the season. Appeared in the third. And in the fifth against the Crawdads. That was his most lengthy appearance. He went 2 full innings. Was terrific. Ahead 0-1 on Tyler Durant, who also struck out swinging in his last at-bat. Fouls that one straight back, and Page is quickly ahead 0-2 with 2 outs in the top of the fifth here in San Luis Obispo. 4-1 Blues lead. Durant 0 for 2 on the day. Page trying to make it 0 for 3. Pop straight up. Samuelson goes back. Trinka is back there, trying to chase that one down, and it drifts into foul territory. No play can be made. Count remains the same. Situation the same. Durant in an 0-2 count. No men on, and 2 outs for the Mudcats in the top of the fifth. Have only gotten the 1 run. That was on a sacrifice fly by Tasso Foster. Page gets the sign from Bloom. Now delivers to the plate. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Sets him down swinging on 3, or gets 3 strikeouts swinging. Strikes out the side in the top of the fifth. That's what it's called. Adding to that K total. Now 7 on the season for Sam Page. He sets him down 1-2-3 in the fifth. New pitcher on the mound for the Mudcats, right-hander. We'll introduce you to him in a moment after the short break on the Blue Streaming Network. Thanks for hanging out. Back with you for the bottom of the fifth now. Blues bats up with a 4-1 lead New pitcher out there for the Mudcats is number 11, right-hander Brady Joyner out of Las Vegas. Here's Tate Samuelson. He has flown out to left in both his at-bats. 0 for 2 on the day, but did all his damage yesterday back in the first. A 2-run homer that made it 4-0. He'd strike out in his next 2 plate appearances, and then in a 14-0 ball game, Coach Miller chose to pinch hit for him. But the third baseman, leading off the inning for the Blues, takes strike 1 from Joyner. Four to 1 our score here in SLO. 0-1 taken for strike 2. Breaking pitch a bit inside, and they'll say it hit Tate. So Samuelson will take first after being hit by the pitch. Here's Johnny Bloom, also 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a fly out to left. But Samuelson reaches first base. Blues get the leadoff man on. Last inning, they plated their 3 runs, all with 2 outs. 2-out rally. First 2 outs were rather quick, and then would proceed to send the next 4 men to the plate. They'd all be safe. And Cermak doing the damage with a 2 RBI triple. So Samuelson's hit by the pitch. Bloom takes his first pitch. It's a ball. And here's Brady Joyner, set to deliver the second pitch to Bloom. That one swung on and lined to left. Base hit for Gianni. Samuelson safe at second. Bloom safe at first. And here comes Nick Costello. Costello has walked and struck out. Now hits with no one out in the bottom of the 5th. 2 men on. It's Samuelson at second, Bloom at first. And a 4-1 lead for the Blues. Joyner gets Costello to swing and miss through the first one. Oh, 1. Costello shows bunt. Takes ball 1. One and 1 on to Costello. Shows bunt, pops it up. Now we'll be 1 and 2. Two men on for the Blues. 1-2 pitch to Costello. That one's lined to right. That'll get down. Will not send Samuelson from third. Base hit for Nick Costello. Well, Liz, thanks for telling me. It's Costello's birthday today. So Nick has a walk and a single to his credit on the day. He'll load the bases for the Blues and set the table for Thomas Trinka. Bases loaded for the Blues. Nobody out. Brady Joyner in a jam here for the Mudcats. Already trailing 4-1. Blues plated 3 back in the 4th, trying to do damage here as they threaten in the bottom of the 5th. First pitch, breaking pitch in there. Strike 1 to Trinka. Thomas had an RBI single and a pinch hit appearance 2 nights ago at Compton Youth Academy. Here's the 0-1. That one is fouled straight back to the right side, that is. Now 0-2 as Joyner quickly works his way ahead. So the Blues go hit by a pitch. That was Samuelson. Then Bloom would single. Now Costello singles to load the bases. Trinka awaits the 0-2. Swung on and missed strike 3. That's the first out. For Joyner, gets Trinka to strike out. He's 0 for 3 now. But here comes Connor Kosteka, who's 2 for 2. And he'll hit with the bases loaded. First pitch in there for a strike. Joyner's ahead. Kosteka, who singled back in the second, laid down a bunt and reached first in the fourth. Awaits the 0-1. Bases loaded, 4-1 Blues. Takes ball one low. Blues have 8 hits already. Only 4 runs to show for it. And I say only 4 runs because this offense has been so prolific as of late. That one's fouled off to right. It's 1-2. We'll have to get a number for you on just how many times the Blues have loaded the bases this season. It's been a number of times. This time there's only 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. And this time they lead early, 4-1. That's been the case all season. Trying to get a 7th win in 8 games. Swung on and missed. So Kosteka now behind 1-2. Or excuse me, that was strike 3. Kosteka strikes out with the bases loaded. Second straight strikeout for Brady Joyner. And now there's 2 outs for Ryan Fenn to bat with the bases loaded in the bottom of the 5th. Fenn takes ball 1 in the dirt from Joyner after sending the first 3 men to the plate and them all reaching. He set 2 straight down on swinging strikeouts. And here's Ryan Fenn in a 1-0 count. 2 outs loaded for the Blues. Fenn lines that one right to Banks at first. Second time they've hit one right to him. That one a 3rd out. Blues strand the bases loaded. Brady Joyner, after hitting a man and giving up back-to-back singles, he gets back-to-back strikeouts and a line out to end the inning and strand them loaded. The lead's still 4-1 for the Blues. Brady Joyner gets out of a heck of a jam. Boy, was that impressive by Brady. We'll see if the Blues can give away some season tickets. Tennis ball toss. And signature sounds of Pat Benatar and Hit Me With Your Best Shot, encouraging the fans to do their best here to win some season tickets. Statistician Max Lober giving it a toss-up from up here in the press box. I'm going to take a short break. I'll be right back with you. We're having fun here at Sinsheimer on the Blue Streaming Network. We'll head to the top of the 6th. Clearing the tennis balls off the field. Just gave away some season tickets. Always fun being had here in between innings at Sinsheimer. This is the 4th home game of the season. We had fireworks last night. There were fireworks on the base pass. There were fireworks in the sky. Blues picked up an unofficial 6th win, looking for a 7th one in 8 games. What a hot start it's been. Coach Miller telling me these games are important for these guys to get them ready for conference play. They've played one against the Academy Barons. Put up 14 runs in that one. Of course, waiting games against the Santa Barbara Foresters, the Orange County Riptide. Chance to really be a well-oiled machine heading into those games as Sam Page is out there for second straight inning of relief. In the first one, he struck out the side. Sam was very impressive. 3 straight Ks, all swinging. As he said, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to all 3 men he faced. It'll be Kenny DeSalle to lead off the top of the 6th. Blues leading 4-1. Stranded, the bases loaded, back in the 5th, but still nursing a 3-run lead. And it'll be DeSalle who has walked and grounded out to first. Coming into today, DeSalle a .313 hitter. 6 RBIs, tied with E.J. Brown in that statistical category. That one's hit over to Samuelson at third. Got on to first, and Mason Grotto for the first out. 5-3 ground out gets the inning, started for Sam Page. He set down the first 4 men he has seen. Justin Banks, who's had a couple liners hit out to him. He's been positioned perfectly and fielded them with the glove. Won a double play ball. Austin Shell lined out to him. He then tagged first to end the first inning. And had one hit to him on a line to end the last inning. The bases loaded. A hard hit ball by Ryan Fenn. Page quickly ahead on Banks. 0-2. Banks, who walked in his last at-bat. And grounded out to second to end the first for the Mudcats. Here's the 0-2. High ball 1 as Page dialed up a rising fastball that rose too high. One out, top of the 6th. 4-1 our score. Favor of the Blues. Swung on and missed strike 3. 4 strikeouts in 5 at-bats for Sam Page. Here's Jordan Petrushka. Quickly, 2 outs in the top of the 6th for Solano. They got their 1 run back in the 4th. Since then, have not had a man reach, as Page has been phenomenal. First pitch from Sam is low ball 1. .1-0 from Page. Petrushka swings and misses through that one. It was away. Even now at 1-2, and Page has been getting the swing and miss like it's nobody's business. 5 strikeouts so far. 4 strikeouts, I should say. 1-1. Swung on and missed again. Same pitch, same place, same result. And he's ahead 1-2. High ball 2. Count even now. 2-2. 2 outs, top of the 6th. Sam Page on trying to end his second inning of relief without allowing a man to reach. Maybe a 5th strikeout mixed in there as well. Here's the 2-2. Page sends it low. Count full at 3-2. Petrushka walked in his last at-bat. Here's the payoff pitch to Petrushka. That one's hit, looping into right center, and it'll drop. Base hit for Jordan Petrushka. He's reached in his last 2 plate appearances. So after Page sent the first 3 men down in the 5th via the K, then a ground out and another strikeout to his credit, gives up a single to Petrushka and now has to get through Adam Chadwick to end the 6th. 4-1 our score. Blues lead by 3. Petrushka safe at first. Page delivering strike 1 to the plate. Chadwick singled in his last at-bat. 1 for 2 on the day with a fly out to left. Mudcats offense has only put up 2 runs so far in this series. Blues offense has put up 18. 0-1. Way inside and it hit him. So Page plunks Chadwick. He'll be safe at first after being hit by a pitch. Second time we've seen that today. So after a single and a hit batter, it brings up Tasso Foster, who drove in the first and only RBI for the Mudcats back in the 4th on a sacrifice fly out to right. He'll hit now with 2 men on. Petrushka at second, Chadwick at first, and Page still out on the mound. That one swung on and hit over to Kosteka at second. He'll field on to Grotto at first for the 3rd out, and that'll end the inning. So sandwiched in between 4 strikeouts and a ground out are 2 men that reach, and Page is clean through 2 innings of relief. So Sam Page comes on, protects the lead for the Blues. 4-1 our score as we'll head to the bottom of the 6th. I'm going to take a short break. Thanks for hanging out on the Blue Streaming Network. Here's Grotto to lead off the 6th for the Blues. Takes one way inside, and that hit him. Second straight Blue to be hit by a pitch. 3rd of this game overall. Grotto reaches. He's reached in all 4 of his plate appearances. He walked, singled, reached on an air, and now has been hit by a pitch. Here's Cermak, who can say the same, only he's driven in 3 runs in the process of his 3 at-bats. Swings and misses through the first pitch from Joyner, set to start his 2nd inning of relief. Cermak drove in the first run of the day, RBI single, reached on an air. That one's skied out to left but foul. Reached on the air back in the 3rd and then drove in 2 on a 2 RBI triple. Back in the fourth. Here he is now with Grotto at first after being hit, and Cermak trying to reach for his fourth time as well. Behind 0-2 on Brady Joyner. That one's hit on a hop to Claxton at third. Double play ball. They'll only get the one. So it goes 5-4-3, only getting the run out at second. And Cermak trades places with Grotto at first. Now one out in the bottom of the sixth for Austin Shell. Shell for 3. Hits with Cermak on first. And one out. 4-1 Blues. First pitch from Joyner is away. Ball 1. Shell hits one foul up the left side. Even now at 1-1. So Joyner's first inning of relief, that was back in the bottom of the fifth. He hit Tate Samuelson to lead off the inning. Then back-to-back singles by Bloom and Costello loaded the bases, and he was able to get out of it. There were no outs, and delivers ball 2 to Shell. But with the bases loaded and nobody out, he struck out Trinka, struck out Kosteka, and got Fendeline out, protecting or keeping that deficit at just 3. Now has allowed Grotto to reach, and after the ground out, it's Cermak at first, and one out, bottom of the sixth. Shell fouls another one off. And I think that hit our press box. Count even now at 2-2. Cermak, of course, the threat to steal. Showed off his speed back in the fourth with the triple. A hard hit ball to left center. Takes off for second here. That one's hit back to Joyner on the mound. He'll toss to first, and Cermak, who thinks about taking third, will be safe at second. Here's Tate Samuelson. He takes ball 1. Cermak advances to second on the Shell ground out. Here's Tate Samuelson, who has only reached after he was hit by a pitch. That one is now lined into left. Cermak rounding third. He'll come in to score. Bobbled by DeSalle in left. And Samuelson has himself an RBI single. It's 5-1 Blue. And when the Blues score, you score here at Sinsheimer Park. Of course, when the Blues score, you score. Sponsored by our friends at Injectors Direct. 5-1 Blues. Samuelson safe at first. Brought in Cermak from second. Here's Gianni Bloom, who singled in his last at-bat. 2 out, bottom of the sixth. Takes the first pitch inside, ball 1. And Brady Joyner has given up his first run in this one so far. Just an out away from keeping it at 5-1. But has surrendered one here in the sixth. Bottom of the sixth. Bloom in a 2-0 count. Has taken 2 straight. Gianni struck out in his first at-bat. Followed that with a fly out to left. The single led off. Or was the second at-bat in the fifth. Here's the 2-0 from Joyner. That one is low ball 3. Gianni quickly in the hitter's count. 3-0, 2 outs, bottom 6. Our score now 5-1 Blues after the RBI single by Tate Samuelson. That scored Cermak from second, and Bloom takes ball 4. 4-pitch walk for Gianni. Runners will be at first and second now for the Blues, and the birthday boy, Nick Costello, is up. Costello has walked and singled. Bats with 2 men on and 2 out in the bottom of the 6th. Off speed, taken for strike 1. Count 1-1 on Costello. Here's a 1-1. Costello fouls that one straight back, now 1-2. Here's the 1-2. In there, strike 3 called. Sets down Costello on 4 pitches. So Nick strikes out looking to end the inning. Blues leave 2 men on, but not before they tack on 1 more. They lead 5-1. New pitcher out there for the Blues. We'll introduce you to him in just a moment. I'm going to take a short break and be right back with you on the Blues Streaming Network. Thanks for hanging out on a Saturday afternoon.
If you want to sit down with our staff, for the
New pitcher on the mound for the Blues. Number 25, Luke Bell. That one's fouled straight back. And leading off the top of the 7th now. 5-1 Blues our score. Leading off the top of the 7th is Mason Levitt. Singled and struck out so far in this one, 1 for 2. 0-1. Bell delivers a breaking ball in there. Now ahead 0-2. That was strike 2. Excuse me. Should have eaten before I came today. Made that mistake. That one's away now, 1-2. No outs, top of the 7th. Fouled straight back, and the count remains the same. Luke, who had a tough first outing up in Lincoln, didn't record an out, gave up 3 earned runs on 2 hits, but it was the control, the 2 walks that really cost him. So he delivers ball 2 there, and count even now. Made his second appearance, pitched a full inning against the Crawdads back on the 16th. Didn't give up a hit, didn't give up a run. Struck out 3, strikes out 1 there. 4th strikeout for Luke Bell on the season. Sets Levitt down on 5 pitches. Three walks on the season, now 4 strikeouts. And an inning and 1/3 pitched. Luke Bell out of Xavier, senior there. Hometown of Chandler, Arizona. One of 3 Blues from Arizona. This one's grounded to Samuelson. On a hop, he guns it to first. Grotto digs it out of the dirt, but not for the out. And reaching is Justin Claxton. Going to rule that an E5 on Tate Samuelson that allows Claxton to reach. Back to the top of the order in E.J. Brown. That's with a runner on, taking strike 1 from Bell. So the runner on, Bell not responsible for them. And an E5 on Samuelson. This is the 3rd appearance for Luke. Showing bunt is Brown. Instead, he takes strike 2 as he was unable to lay it down. Oh, 2. Swung on and missed strike 3. Bell sets him down. 5th strikeout of the year for Luke. Here's Tyler Durant. So Brown has now struck out 3 times in this ballgame. He's 0 for 4, went 1 for 4 yesterday. Durant's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. He'll bat now with 2 out. Top of the 7th, the runner on is Justin Claxton, who reached on an error. 5-1 our scores lead. Just over 2 hours into this one, and we're in the 7th. Fouled straight back. 1-1 now. Bell going with the fastball. Here's the 1-1 from Bell. Fouled off again. And that one out of our gates. Doesn't stop the kids from running over there, though. You'd think if one kid takes a sizable lead, the rest would just say, I'm not going to go get the ball. I have no chance of getting it, but it doesn't stop them. They all go for it. Here's the 1-2. Swung on and hit to Costeca at second. He'll field on to Grotto at first for the ground out, and that retires the side. So Bell works around the runner reaching on an error. Hits himself out of the inning. That does it for the Mudcats in the top of the 7th. And it's time to stretch here at Sinsheimer. And a little Take Me Out to the Ball Game, a rendition by our PA announcer, Jim.
Let's all the grown-ups sing. All right, here we go. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back. Root, root, root for the slow blues. If they don't win, it's a shame. 'Cause it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out. Let's see, oh,
Is that 17?
all right.
17.
I just heard a picture. Very nice of him to notify us. Saturday? Yeah. I'm getting Chick-fil-A after this.
All right.
Oh my God. We're not on No?
Santa Maria. 30 minutes away.
Might be.
Or
It might be.
the Chick-fil-A. It's near Chick-fil-A on California.
Set to start the bottom of the 7th. After a tradition as old as time. Take me out to the ball game sung here. 5-1 Blues. Thanks for hanging out in the Blue Streaming Network. Hi again, everybody. Zach Ebrahim here with you. Sinsheimer leading things off for the Blues in the bottom of the 7th. It's Thomas Trinka trying to reach for the first time today. He is 0 for 3. And the new pitcher on for the Mudcats, let's introduce you to him. Right-hander, Clark Eater out of Iona, hometown of San Ramon, California. Mudcats with just the 3 hits. The Blues with 9. First pitch in there for a strike as he gets ahead on Trinka. Trinka today moved over from right to left. I've seen him at right when he starts in every game this season. Moving over there as he hits that one onto second. Levitt has it onto first for the ground out. First out of the bottom of the 7th. Levin onto Banks for the 4-3. Here's Connor Kostecka. Was 2 for 2 until he struck out in the 5th. Struck out with the bases loaded, but he has singled twice. Bats with no one on. Way inside and gets away from Chadwick behind the plate. Easy take, and it's 1-0. 1 out, bottom of the 7th. Blues lead by 4. Looking for that 7th win in 8 games. What a start it's been for San Luis Obispo, and this offense, pitching staff rock solid today so far. Clark Eater outside, ball 2. Kostecka ahead. Tyler Yarborough started for the Mudcats today. Got out of a lot of traffic early. Was in a lot of jams, able to pitch around it until the Blues finally got to him in the 4th. Plating 3. Only given up 1 in the 1st. Kostecka takes ball 3. Ahead firmly in the count. Clark Eater, after getting that first quick out, in danger of walking Kostecka. And in the process, he would reach for the 3rd time in his 4 at-bats. Here's the 3-0. Taken over the heart of the plate for strike 1. Kostecka manning second today. Fenn shifts over to short. And the 2 manning the heart of this infield beautifully so far through the season. 3-1. Kostecka looks at ball 4. Takes a walk on to first. He's now reached in 3 of his 4 plate appearances. And back to the top of the lineup and Ryan Fenn. What I do like is that so far throughout this season, the way the bottom of this lineup feeds into the top has been it's been great. Connor Kostecka, it's a talented bat. I mean, you'd think the guy batting 9th is, maybe a free out, maybe someone who isn't that much of a threat with the bat. Kostecka certainly is, and he reaches via the walk. Here's Ryan Fenn, who's no slouch at the plate himself. He's reached in 2 of his 4 appearances today. Pops that one up. Infield raging over. Can't make the play as it's foul in the Blues bullpen. 0-1 on to Fenn. Lined out to first. One of a couple lineups that have been hit to Justin Banks. One out, bottom of the 7th, one man on in the form of Kosteka. Gunning over to first. And I'll say he's safe. Chadwick popped out of his stance, gunned over to first, not in time. It'll be Fenn. He's in a 1-1 count. And then it'll be Grotto. Don't want to see Grotto up there with men on. That's for certain. Here's the 1-1 from Clark Eater. Over the head of Fenn. And we continue to see that in what feels like every game. Pitches just getting thrown over and behind Blues bats. Accidental every time, but a trend nonetheless. It's 2-1 now. Fenn bats with Kosteka at first. And that one hit him in the helmet. And you could hear that one up here. Ryan is, look at him. Of course, medical staff's got to take a look at him, check on him, see how he's feeling after that one. He got plunked in the head. Right on the protective helmet. Look at him. Standing at first. Like it was nothing. I'd be out of the game. I'd be in the hospital. I'd be in a bed. It's the fourth hitter that's been hit by a pitch. Of course, Fenn's going to check out. They got to take a look at him. Plunked in the head. Ryan Fenn heads into the dugout. They'll take a look at him. They'll put a pinch runner on first in the form of Ruben Mercado. And one pitch over the head of Fenn. Second one, couldn't duck enough. Got him in the helmet. 3 Blues have been hit by a pitch today. Samuelson, Grotto, and now Fenn. Here comes Grotto to hit with Kosteka on second, and now Ruben Mercado at first. Grotto has reached in all 4 of his plate appearances. Taking off for third is Kosteka. He'll be in there safe with a stolen base. Runners at the corners now for the Blues. Still only 1 out in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, stolen base.
Grotto trying to say it every time he's up because I'm so impressed by it. 16 RBIs in 8 games now for Mason. He reached in all 4 of his plate appearances. Hit by a pitch in his last at-bat. Fenn hit by a pitch, and now Mercado pinch running for him. 5-1 Blues. Grotto takes a ball outside. It's 1-1. Grotto throws over to first to check on Mercado. He's safe. One and one. Eater, who checked on Mercado at first, set to deal the third pitch to Grotto. 1 out, bottom of the 7th. 5-1 Blues. Runners at the corners. Grotto takes high and inside. He's hit. This is a concerning trend now. This is now, wow, this is 4 men that have been hit by the Blues at the plate. 5 in this game overall. 1 Mudcat has been hit. Now Grotto is plunked for the second time in the second consecutive at-bat. This is a disturbing trend now. Fenn was hit in the helmet. I'm not suggesting anything. It's never fun to see. You cringe every time it happens. Grotto's been hit in the 6th. He's been hit now in the 7th. Looked like that one got him on the inside part of the shoulder. Seems to be just fine. Not coming out of the game. He's safe at first base. Kosteka's at third. Mercado's at second. Bases are loaded now for Cermak. And I'm not saying the Blues they're not ecstatic with Clark Eater right now. But here is Cermak. Cermak has reached in all 4 of his plate appearances. He's driven in 3 runs on a single and a triple. First pitch from Eater. Strike 1. You always wonder how a pitcher's going to respond to that. You hit 2 straight guys. Your team's hit 4 in the game. Do you stop pitching inside? Do you pitch away? Do you lose all feeling of the strike zone? Eater delivered strike 1 there to Cermak. He's ahead. Ryan's going to call for time here. Bases are loaded. There's 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. Blues lead 5-1. Austin Shell is due up, who's 0 for 4, but Fenn's in the dugout. Mercado pinch running for him. We hope Ryan's okay. We know at least Grotto is all right for now. Probably just a bruise. Safe at first. He didn't come out. Cermak takes high. Ball 1. It's even now 1-1. 1 out. Cermak. That one's way high again. Cermak had to duck. It wasn't over his head, but very high pitch. 2-1, 1 out. Bases loaded for Cermak. He's got 3 RBIs on the day. 2-1. Popped up. Going back is Brown. Still going back. At the warning track, he makes the catch. Kosteka tagging up will score from third to sac fly and an RBI for Ryan Cermak. I'm not saying he really wanted to go deep, but he really wanted to go deep. Flies out to center and an RBI. His 4th on the day, responsible for 4 of the 6 blue runs. Here's Austin Shell. Runners at the corners now for the Blues, 2 out in the bottom of the 7th. Our score now 6-1. So it's Mercado pinch running for Fenn at third. And Grotto still at first. First pitch to Shell. Eater throws over to first. And Grotto is safe. Shell awaits the first pitch from Eater. Righty on righty. High and inside, ball 1. Six to 1 now our score. 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. In an inning that's seen 2 Blues get hit by a pitch. That one's high and it's ball 2. 4 Blues have been hit on the game. 1 Mudcat has been hit. That was Adam Chadwick. A disturbing trend, something that's unfortunate. Again, not saying any of it is on purpose. Just hate to see it happen. 2-0. Shell popped that one up. Ranging back, and it's a souvenir for a fan who's going to catch it. Not sure it was. Not sure it was, Scott. Nice. Hey, that was good. Good sound effect by our sound guy, Evan. That was awesome. 2-1 now. Austin Shell is 0 for 4. He's doing the DHing today. Had 3 RBIs last night. Either DHs or catching. We had Austin on the post